But what a figure we get to look at today. So this is the S.h.figuarts Indiana Jones. And I guess what I'm looking at today is to find out, is it worth the money? Or, you know, are these Hasbro figures that we've had recently just as good? I can't wait to get this guy out and in hand. So let's get stuck into it now. Hi all, Chris here. And yeah, today we're going to take a look at the S.h.figuarts Indiana Jones. This is my first S.h.figuarts figure, or at least my first non-bootleg S.h.figuarts figure. I don't know if anyone's seen my bootleg Spider-Man review, but that was a bootleg of an S.h.figuarts design. The figure was really hard to get hold of actually. It's still not, as far as I'm aware, still not available through UK sellers at the moment. But I was fortunate enough to find a single UK seller on eBay that was selling one of the imports. So managed to grab that, and this cost me just under £72. So I think that's kind of the price you're looking at the moment, around that figure, $70 to $80 if you get a good deal. But super impressed with this box first. So if we take a look at that, I can't get over just how impressive the artwork is on this box. I love the front artwork on there, ripped straight from the poster. And this box has got a window as well so that we can see inside of it and we can see what our figure looks like. And I like these little windows that you can see towards the sides where we can get a little peek of the extra accessories in there as well. But just take a look at that in box. I mean, already I'm so impressed with what these face sculpts look like. I can't wait to see those close up. I love that little S.h.figuarts logo, the little holographic logo there. So I think the artwork on it with the kind of Mayan temple look to it, it's really striking, and for a premium figure that's kind of what you'd expect. On the sides, the first side, we can see a nice picture of the Indiana Jones figure on there in one pose, and on the other side we have another image of Indiana Jones without the jacket on, and just confirmation that this is the Raiders of the Lost Ark Indy. And I think that looks really impressive without the jacket on. Looking forward to seeing that too. And on the back, we've got more sort of 3D renderings of different poses for Indiana Jones to take up, along with an image of the accessories that come with it. A little bit of legal jargon and gibberish there as well. And a nice little picture of the headpiece of the Staff of Ra there as well. So yeah, really looking forward to getting stuck into this. But like I say, I'm quite impressed with how it looks. On the bottom, there's not a great deal there. It's just another image of Indy and some more legal gibberish. Same on the top. I don't think there's anything else to see in this box. So let's get it open and let's see what's inside. So let's open up this box and slide him out and see what we've got. I can immediately tell the difference between this and like the bootleg figure that I got. Even just like the box quality and the kind of matte finish to the box itself. Let's slide him out there. Oh, fantastic. What else have we got in here? We've got a nice little background there, the little classic map look that we get, you know, from the films. I like that. And we also have a tiny little instruction guide as well for how we sort of change the accessories around. So if we take a look at that, that shows how the hat's removable, how the faces change. So we can have the faces with the hair or the hat, however we prefer. And a little look at how the jacket comes off as well, and the different accessories where they fit. It's all fairly straightforward. But if we take a little close-up look at the figure in packaging, I mean, wow, yeah. I'm so used to the Adventure Series figures and the sort of build quality on those, and already it feels a step above. So yeah, I'm super impressed with the attention to detail, even from sort of a glance. I can't wait to see this up close. So here we've got the figure out and all of the accessories. So I think let's just start by going through everything one by one and seeing everything up close. What do we think of it? I'm going to obviously start with the Indy figure. Let's take a quick look at him. Oh my goodness me. I mean, what a face sculpt that is. I know that Harrison Ford is pretty difficult to get accurate on a head sculpt, but they've nailed it. It looks fantastic. And I love the hat as well. The level of detail on his clothing is just so impressive. This leather jacket, it looks so realistic. I mean, the shirt underneath as well. That shirt looks amazing. The level of creases and the buttons and the stitching on everything just looks incredible. Trousers are probably the least impressive part of it. I mean, they're just pretty standard khaki trousers. But oh my goodness me, look at that figure. Moving down the figure, let's have more of a look at the trousers. I'm really impressed with the creases on the trousers, especially how they bunch up around the shoes. The shoes themselves, the boots, they look awesome. The detailing on those, the paint application on the laces and the stitching. Again, the same with the back as well. The back of the jacket continues that same leather look with all of the creasing and the buckles that are on his jacket there. Really, really, really impressive look to him. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it comes across, and we'll have a look on the face one, but there's like a little bit of shininess to his hair, like a gold detailing. So I guess that's to make the hair look less of just a matte single colour, like the light catches the hair and you can see different shades of, you know, a lighter brown or a gold in that hair. So that looks really good. I'm kind of impressed with that level of detail as well. But yeah, I love that shirt. I can't wait to get the jacket off to have that more Cairo Indy look to him. I love that the belt attachment for the whip and for the gun holster there, they all look pretty good as well. It looks like that gun holster's not usable, so you'd be keeping the gun separate when it's not posed with the figure. That doesn't really bother me though. Yeah, let's have a look at articulation now. Yeah, I mean, the head moves really well, full Exorcist head movement. And you can actually see it's moving by the neck there. So there is articulation in the neck and the head. If we stop that neck moving, you can see the head moves independently of that. Nice up and down head movement on there as well. Oh my God. Don't lose your head, Indy. He's not even survived his first adventure. There we go. Let's put that back on. But yeah, I just can't get over this head sculpt. I could stare at it all day. But yeah, as I was saying, good up and down head movement on there. I don't expect there to be any issues with articulation, really. Decent T-pose. Quite pleased with that. You know, the jacket doesn't really obstruct the tops of the arms moving up. And then we do have a really, really nice articulation in the elbow. It is just a single joint, but the level of movement in that, you know, it's over 90-degree movement on that elbow there. And we do have a twist and a pivot on the wrist as well. So that's really nice. You can get him into loads of different positions there. So that's quite impressive as well. And then if we have a little look at the torso, there's incredible movement in the torso. So upper torso movement and spin, same with the waist. They both move very freely and incredible ab crunch on there. Superb level of movement on that. So you can get him into so many different positions there. Really, really, almost 90 degrees in total with the two angles of movement. Yeah, really, really, really impressive. I think what we'll do in another video is we'll get the Hasbro Indy and a couple of other older Indies and take a look at the differences between them. But as you can see, yeah, so much movement in that torso as I'm messing about with it. Let's have a look at the legs. Reasonable movement in the top of the leg there. Nothing to write home about. Let's take a look at the knee. Very much like the elbow. It's not technically a double joint, but the angle of movement in that knee is incredible. And as you see, I've just moved that there. There is a toe joint as well. So that adds just another level of articulation to it. But very impressive. Loads of movement in the shoe, in the boot as well. So we've got a twist, a pivot. It's on like a ball joint as well. So it can move in pretty much any direction within reason on that ball joint. So loads of positions again for the feet. And that's what you want, isn't it? I mean, it's got great articulation whilst also holding position quite well as well. So I like that it moves freely, but that it stays where you put it. That's something that's really important to me. So yeah, super pleased with the level of articulation on this figure. I think it's more than enough for an Indiana Jones figure. If I was buying a Spider-Man, perhaps I'd want something that bends a little bit more than what this does. This does a more than serviceable job of articulating this figure and giving you some posable options. Stands up really well as well. One of the biggest gripes I had on the Indy Adventure series was how poorly balanced they were and how the feet just didn't stand up well on their own. Let's take a look at some of these accessories. So this is one of the alternate head sculpts, and this is the one with the hair. So this hair is interchangeable, and that smile, that grin on that face, is just awesome. And I love the stubble as well on it. That looks just wow. Yeah, it sings, doesn't it? It's such a good face sculpt. I can't believe how well they've managed to replicate Harrison Ford's likeness on this figure. That hair as well, the level of detail on the hair, individual strands of hair look fantastic. And then we have another alternate face, and this one is kind of a stern look. So I think this is Indy getting ready for some action here, starting to fight some goons. And you can see on the back here, this is how the face clips in. We'll look at that now, actually. But with the head there, what happens is the face slides downwards from the hair or from the hat, and then you can just push the other face sculpt up into that. And when I say from the hat is actually detachable. So there is another, the other headpiece isn't actually attached to the hat. It almost looks like a Lego piece, and we'll look at that in a little bit. But you can have the hat detached and use that as an accessory as well. But there you go, it's really easy. Nice and straightforward to do. It gives you so many different posability options with the heads being able to move between the hair and the hat. So I really like that. Let's take a quick look at the hat, as I said before. So let's take that head off there. So if we slide that down, that should come off nicely. And there you go. So you see the hat and the hair there is pretty secure. But as I said before, the hat does come off as well. There we go. I love the grin in the hat. Yeah, fantastic. Can't wait to see more of that. And there you go. So that's how the hat removes. And you can just use that as a single accessory. So nice and easy. You can have him holding that in his hand or reaching for his hat underneath a quickly closing door. Let's take a little look at some more of these accessories. So we'll start with the whip. This is the uncoil whip. And again, just the level of detail on here for such a small piece. I think the positioning that they've chosen for this whip's really good as well, because when it's held in hand, it really does look like it's whipping around the back of his head. So it's very animated in hand. So I'm really pleased with that, and we'll see it in hand in a couple of poses a little bit later. But yeah, really pleased with that whip. The shine on it just really does make it look like it's made of leather. Very impressive. Satchel bag. I mean, it's fairly similar to what we've seen in the Hasbro bags, really. Nice little indent there, so it sits nicely on the side of the waist. But nothing great to write home about. It's not a functional satchel. We can't store any of the other accessories in it, but it's just part of his look, isn't it, really? You'd be lost without it. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. We'll make sure that goes on the figure a little bit later. And now the golden idol, the fertility idol as well. It looks stunning. The shine on this, again, I can't help, and apologies, I can't help but compare it to the Hasbro version. But the shine on this and the attention to detail on here is first rate. Yeah, it's super impressive. I can't wait to see that in Indy's hands as well. And there is quite a clever little way that it holds into the hand that we'll look at in a little bit. And we now get the headpiece to the Staff of Ra, something that we didn't get with the standard Indy figure. A little bit difficult for me to hold that up for you, but yeah, even there, that tiny little red dot in the eye, the paint application is something else with this figure. I guess, as we say before, you get what you pay for, really. But no complaints so far. Nice little belt notch here. That's a clever little detail because they didn't need to add this. But this is for when you've removed the coiled whip from Indy's belt. You can then push that in to make it look as though the belt loop is still there. And here is the revolver as well. So again, nice little attention to detail on this. Lovely replication of all of the little moving parts on this revolver. I'm very impressed with that. It feels really sturdy as well as an accessory. It doesn't feel flimsy like some of the accessories you get in cheaper figures that feel very rubbery. This definitely doesn't. And here we have the sandbag, the replacement sandbag for the fertility idol. And you can see some creases in the top there. It's actually made for one particular hand to slide over it. So those little finger marks, the little indentations for the fingers, a hand will grip that sort of perfectly, really, and mould into the hand. So that works really well like that. And we have one set of alternate arms as well. So this is for the jacketless Indy. So the jacket that he's wearing at the moment isn't one piece. The arms of the jacket are kind of painted on, whereas the torso part of the jacket is removable. So then you'd replace those arms there. Yeah, and they look really good as well. Not a lot to say about them, really. They are good alternate arms, and we'll definitely see them in action later. And then there are 6 more hands. So there is a full set of gripping hands, or thumbs up hands, as we'll use them for later. But yeah, so a pair of gripping hands that can be used for gripping of the whip, the hat, the headpiece. They use for quite a few bits. Another set of relaxed hands, and this is the hand that will be used to hold the sandbag as well. It doesn't look like there's much in the way of paint application. I think that's actually the colour of the plastic that they've used for it. But no complaints really, good level of detail on there as well. I like the different creases on the skin. Indy also has a gun holding hand, so a trigger hand with the finger out that will wrap around the trigger part of the gun. Holds it in there pretty nicely. Not the easiest to get into, but once you work it a little bit, that hand's really functional. And then we have one final sort of a outstretched but gripping hand, and you can see a little plate on the inside of the palm of the hand there as well. That actually feeds into the mouth of the fertility idol to hold it in place. That's smart. It means that we can hold the fertility idol sort of facing Indy for if you want to position him in the process of swapping one item for the other. But let's get him out into a couple of poses and let's have a little bit of a chat about what I really think of this figure. So yeah, I can't get over how highly detailed and intricate this figure is. And for somebody that maybe collects a lot of Mezco, a lot of S.h.figuarts, this is nothing new. But from somebody that's come from predominantly the lower end Hasbro, McFarlane style figures, this is so far over and above what I'm used to. And at an initial glance, I feel like it's worth every penny, but I guess that's down to individual preference really. The level of detail is superb, and the face sculpts are easily my favourite part, especially that grinning face. I can't get over how much I love all of the various accessories that come with this figure as well. But I think it's just the fact that he is so poseable. And you just look at the grin on the guy. It just oozes Harrison Ford charisma, doesn't it? That sort of half smug smile that he's giving there. Finally getting a proper look at him with his jacket off as well. And that doesn't disappoint. So that more Cairo style look. So when he's in Egypt and he's not wearing his jacket for large portions of that second act in Raiders. And the shirt doesn't disappoint. I love the rolled up sleeves. I just think it's great. I'm kind of running out of superlatives for this figure. This figure gives me another excuse to bust out my Raiders Temple Escape diorama as well. And I'll give a shameless plug to my friend Jay Tank, who created this incredible Raiders of the Lost Ark diorama. I did review this diorama in full on my channel a few months ago. The link to the video will be above somewhere, and go and check him out on Instagram at Spartan Dioramas. He has so much talent at making these things out of, EVA foam or whatever, I don't know, but the artistic talent he has is incredible at creating dioramas in this 1/12 scale. And you can see him here, hat in hand. And that's how easy it is for that accessory to sit in hand with the fertility idol as well. And that grin, I mean, it's just perfect, isn't it? I think I could go on for hours about how much I love this figure, but in summary, really, I think it's worth every penny. I think it's easily the best indie figure that I own, and for my money, I think it is the quintessential Indiana Jones 1/12 scale figure at the moment. Now, Mezco might have something to say about that. We do have the Mezco 1/12 Indy dropping within the next 4 or 5 months now. I think it was supposed to start shipping in August, so I can't wait to have that one as well. And that one will have a lot more in the way of cloth accessories. So probably a slightly different style to this figure here. But for me, at the moment, this is probably my favourite figure in my entire range. But yeah, I don't know whether these ever will get stocked in the UK. I'm not sure if they're stocked in the US. These figures all look like they've been imported from Japan. But if you can get hold of one, do it. Viewers on my channel have been commenting before that I needed to get hold of this guy. And I think the fact that I was having to import it just put me off a little bit. But now that I've got him in hand, I'm so glad that I went out of my way to pick one up. He's a 10 out of 10 figure. I'm not sure if that's a general consensus or if people have issues with him. I haven't noticed anything really. You can get picky and talk about some of the seams between joints and how there are gaps, but I mean, for the level of articulation you're getting, surely you're always going to get that kind of disconnect between it looking realistic and it being a functional, posable figure. For me, they strike the right balance here with this S.h.figuarts guy, and I love it. I couldn't be happy with this Indy. And I'd love to see S.h.figuarts do more. You know, I know that there's maybe not the biggest call for Indiana Jones figures, but I mean, I'd love to see, you know, if not another Indy, then perhaps a villain or a side character from one of the other movies to go with this guy. It'd be nice just to have one other to pose him with. I know Mezco are doing a Major Tote figure as well as the Indy in their 1/12 scale figures, so perhaps we'll see something similar with S.h.figuarts. This guy's been out a few months now and no announcement of anything else, but we'll wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I love it. It's stunning. It's incredible. It's my favourite figure. I can't get over how much I love it. Please drop into the comments and let me know what you think of this guy. I'd be really interested to know if you've managed to get hold of one, what you think of it. How does it stack up against other Indy figures that you own? I'd love to know all of that. Please drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. It's hugely helpful. I can't say enough about how helpful it is for the YouTube algorithm to grab hold of it. And likewise with subscribing, please come and join this community if you've enjoyed it and you want to hear more news and reviews from myself. Like I say, our community would love to have you. And I tell you what, at the end, let's pop on that diorama video. If you haven't already watched the video of this incredible diorama, please go on and do it. And again, Spartan dioramas. I know that the name has changed since the video I recorded, so it's Spartan dioramas now, whatever old Chris says in the other video. But yeah, go and check that out now. It's incredible. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. I hope you all take care. Bye bye now.